Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 147.
It's March 3rd, 2013, and I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les.
I'm Laura, also known as Lala. That was super professional intro.
I know, right? It's like we've been doing this for 147 episodes.
I swear the first 30 don't count.
Oh, God. Have you ever had to go back and watch those? It's like,
I
ooh,
don't watch our current episodes. I never watched an episode ever again.
let's pretend this didn't happen. I know, I randomly add in, rage faces and silly stuff, and you never even see it, so.
I did, when you told me you added in the rage faces, I fast forwarded to the point where you told me those were. And then I watched 5 seconds and saw the rage faces and turned them off. So
Such a
I
spoiled
don't like
sport.
it. I don't enjoy watching myself,
I don't either.
listening to myself.
I just put it out there in the universe and then pretend it never happened.
I'm
Kind of like my
always so
PMs on
surprised
Ravelry.
if someone comes up and it's like, "You're Lala." I'm always so surprised. I'm like, "Where do you know me from?" Uh,
So what you working on?
I'm working on a sock. I'm working on the toe of a sock, which means that I am almost done, which makes me super happy. So these are my Vesper Holly and the Ivy socks, and they are my size 1.5 signature double points. And I got from basically that green stripe all the way through there knit yesterday.
Wow.
So that made me pretty happy. Side note, one time, because I always stick my double points in my hair like this when I'm not using one.
Mhm.
Were you with me when I got into my
Yes.
car? Yeah.
Mhm.
And one time I got into my car and I took a point to the head because I forgot it was there and it stuck through and it just went. I don't think it was a signature. I think it was a wooden one.
Yeah, you'd
But
have a hole in your head if it was a signature.
yeah. So this is the finished one, and on that work in progress one, I'm right here at this red. See?
So what prompted you to do those top down? Because you normally do toe up.
I wanted a heel flap on these ones
Oh, okay.
because I was playing and I was like, I can totally make that heel flap work where it picks up the red on both sides.
Yeah,
So I was trying to play and see what was going on. Neelix is very interested in my socks.
he is. He thinks it's beautiful. He'd
Aw.
like some leg warmers in that colorway, please.
Well, I have some left over. So this is in my sock the vote bag, which is like that, because the colors things. And I have this much left over.
Wow.
So this is wound so hardcore. Like my little helpers wound this for me 5 years ago. It is a tight, compact ball. They knew what they were doing.
They were serious about their winding.
They really were. It was so funny. I saw the girl who wound it for me. She was an 8th grade library helper when she wound it, and she's a senior in high school now.
Wow.
And she's like, "Hey!" I'm like, "I'm knitting with the sock yarn that you wound 4 or 5 years ago." But that's the first thing that I'm working on. The second thing that I'm working on is the socks that I'm knitting out of my hand spun. So this is Crown Mountain Farms Touch Me colorway. And there's
Touch
the
me.
first completed one. And actually, Crown Mountain Farms has their roving on sale through tomorrow, I think.
I put a bunch of stuff in my cart and then closed the window. I was like, "You're an idiot, Leslie. You have so much fiber."
Yeah, I have 2 braids still unspun, and they tend to put them on sale around once a year. So I need to get down the fiber a little bit. So that's how far I am on the second. So I got 4 or 5 rows done the other night as I was sitting here. And that's about it. So not a huge amount of progress, and that's in my Tangerine Designs box bag. And then the last thing that I have in progress, so my TGV shawlette did not get touched at all. It's over there in a bag. It didn't actually leave this room. But I did start a new vest. And it is a Knitting Pure and Simple pattern. It is the cap sleeve cardigan vest.
Oh, pretty.
It looks like that. It's very long. And I'm using some stash yarn. It is some Cascade 128 that I bought probably 3 years ago when Webs had it closed out. And I know this is a shocker gray. I've knit like 4 gray sweaters in the
You
past
have.
year and a half. And every single time I'm like, it's gray. It's like my favorite color. It goes with everything. So I have it down like 1.5 inches past the arm, so it's top down raglan style. And there it goes. And I'm actually doing an in-between size because I am like a 42.5 bust measurement. And the sizing goes from 42 to 46. And 46 would be like a 10 on me. Like I want a little bit of positive ease, but not that much positive ease. So I cast on for the 46 size, but then went to the numbers for the 42 size and then added like 4 stitches, and that'll give me like an extra 1.5 inches. Because I'm getting around a gauge of 3 stitches per inch on my size 10 needles.
So that's a bulky weight.
Oh yeah, it's super bulky. And 128 comes in, I'm almost through the second ball. It comes in a superwash and then the regular, which it's basically 220 but thicker. I would say is a pretty good example. And it's spun, it's still a 2-ply, but it's a bulky 2-ply. So that's it. It's on my signature set cents, and it's in my Erin Lane bag. So that's all I have got. What are you working on?
I'm working on just 2 things right now. I've not touched the Mabel socks, patterned by Sadie, who is now a U.S. citizen. Welcome to the United States.
Congratulations, Sadie.
I talked about how I was gifting this to Tammy and how she never watches our show just because she's so busy. And then I got a text from her, and she was like, "Oh, you're knitting me socks." And I was like, "Crap, it's supposed to be a surprise." But she was very appreciative, and I think she's just sweet as hell. So anyhow, my dog is vying for my attention. I'm sorry. And I know a bunch of people have texted or have PM'd me and said on the thread that they love when Neelix makes an appearance. And while I am empathetic to that, he interferes with my ability to actually show anything. Because this.
Really? That's interfering with you?
So anyway, I didn't get to work on the Mabel socks at all this week. It's been a very busy week, and Mr. Awesome is out of town. So a lot of the stuff that he does on a daily basis, I'm a very, very lucky person because Mr. Awesome does the majority of the cleaning in the house, and he takes care of all the animals. He's the zookeeper. He cleans the fish tanks. He takes care of the bunny and the cat litter and everything. But while he's gone, I have to do that. So first world problems, but it's taken up some of my time. But I did get some progress. Neelix, please, baby, please go somewhere else. I did get some progress on my Friday Studios socks. This is in my Slip Stitches bag. And the colorway, this is all that's left in the ball. The colorway is the Leslie Special. And it's blue, orange, red, and purple. And I knit on this for a little while at work. We had a training class for a new ticket queue system, which is just as crappy as the one before it. But I was able to knit during that. So I got about an hour and a half's worth of work done, which basically took me from this orange stripe to where I am now. So
that's some decent progress.
Yeah, I felt like it made some pretty good progress. But that's the only time that's been touched this week. So I don't have a ton to show on that. And that's on my US size 1 2.25 millimeter signature needles. And they do pierce this bag. These are, because they're so small, I think they're actually sharper than the thicker ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bigger gauge ones. These have gone through this bag I can't tell you how many times. Not because there's
These ones
anything.
go through my bags all the time.
Yeah,
Like
it's not because the bag isn't well made. That's not it at all. It's just these things are sharp as hell. So, which I love for knitting. I love a sharp tip. So, anyhow, let me put that back in there. And the other thing I've been working on is my Ho Aloha, which was, well, it is still the mystery sweater that Mel of Single Handed Knits was designing, or has designed, I guess.
It's got like a sleeve there.
I do have the beginning of a sleeve. So I finished the body, and this is in Madeline Tosh Sport in the William Morris colorway. And I did the button band. It looks all kinds of wonky because it's not blocked. But I did the button band and the sleeve. And I actually, I'll try it on real quick and show y'all. She has you doing the broken rib pattern on the arm. I didn't want to do that because my arms are big enough and they don't need any attention drawn to them. So I'm just doing stockinette on the arm. And I'm doing 3/4 sleeves. And I slowed down the rate of increases because I have a large upper arm. I have a very large upper arm. So
that
I
makes total
purposely
sense.
slowed down the increases. But I'm probably going to do another, I would say another 1.5 inches, and then do maybe 1 inch of garter, and then bind off.
I love me a 3/4 sleeve.
Yeah, that's what
It's like, this is how I wear all my stuff.
Yeah, and because this is a wide neck, and I cannot go strapless because I'm sporting a very large chest, strapless doesn't work for me, especially if, I mean, I can do it for a dress for a party or something, but not all day. So I'll probably wear a white button down under this, and so I can just fold the button down up to the point of the cuff, and it'll be a very cute look. So
it'll be adorable.
I really do love this yarn. Love Madeline Tosh Sport. And the pattern has just gone super easy. The only hiccup I had with the pattern was at the point of the tab division, and that was because I didn't actually read the pattern and was being a dummy. But everything else has gone really well, and I've got like this much yarn for the rest of this arm. I don't think I'm going to make it, but I wound another ball. And I got the buttons for it from my friend Lori, who is Deerfield Creations, and these are East Indian rosewood.
Oh, pretty.
And she actually included some wood wax to help keep your buttons in their best condition. So after you wash and block your sweater, you rub a little bit of this wood wax on the buttons to keep them nice and shiny.
Cool. Very cool.
Deerfield Creations. Lori is a gem, does some beautiful work with wood, all kinds of different stuff. So
she has she's known for her spindles, primarily her supported spindles. I have a new supported spindle on the way to me from her. Well, not from her, but by her that I got in the D-stash.
She will be at SSK as well. So if you're going to be at SSK or coming for the market, she'll be there as well. So, and that's all that I'm working on, really. I have some kind of sort of FOs that I can talk about after you talk.
I have one FO, and it's missing buttons, but my button person is out of town, so I don't count that. My button person's my mom.
Yes.
And mainly I get her to do it because she puts in backing buttons. So,
you can do that, though. It's just adding a button to the back.
I could do lots of things that I choose not to do. So here's the sweater. It's kind of flopping over on itself. It needs to be blocked.
Go back to Joann's and get some more green, or?
I did. Oh, okay. So I had run out of green when I had finished the sleeves. I had a little bit left. There we go. It fits so well.
It'll be a perfect fit.
And it was actually Woolies was the green, not Vanna's Choice, but they had plenty of it left, even though this was a 2-year-old color.
I was going to say, it looks like a perfect match to me.
Yep, it was. I took a snip of the leftover yarn after I had woven in the ends on the sleeves and just matched it. And now I have almost a whole full ball, so I have like 150 yards of the green, so I'll probably do something else, another baby thing with some more Woolies. So the buttons will get on here. There's 4 buttonholes. It says to space the buttonholes 3 inches apart. So what I did is I put them in 4 stitches. It also said to do that. And then I had 48 stitches that I picked up for the button band, so I made Wheezy do math. This was an all-inclusive Linneman family project. And we spread them out, and she decided that they needed to be 12 apart, which when you do a yarn over knit 2 together equals 10 apart. And they came out pretty well. So that's
Sweet.
the little encore wool ease sweater. It was really cute in that I got to hold the baby Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I had a lot of after school work things, and one of them was homework help night for our parents. We do a homework help night where we talk to them about what you can do to help your child be successful in school. And the mom was there with the baby, and I got to hold him and he had outgrown all his hats. She's like, I feel like a horrible mom, but we don't leave the house. So I gave her the hat the next day, and I'm gonna give her this coming week, and I'm probably gonna knit another real quick worsted weight hat and just
Yeah,
give it to
baby
her.
hats are super fast.
Uh-huh. They're pretty fast. Like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. I love knitting baby hats on. I purchased a long time ago 12-inch circulars from Addie. So I have 12-inch circulars in size 4 through size 9. And I love doing baby hats on them because I can just crank them out.
But how long are the actual needles?
They're like 3 inches.
Yeah, see, I
They're
can't
very
do that.
small.
When I knit, I use my entire hand to hold on to that needle. So anything shorter than 5 inches gives me cramps in my hand. I can't do it. I wish I could because that would be perfect. But like for an adult hat, I can use a 16-inch needle and it's usually fine.
Mhm.
But
I'd rather do. I'm not a magic looper primarily. I'm more of a double point or knit. I prefer circulars over anything else.
Yeah, and you usually use 2 sets of circulars versus magic loop when you need.
I do for small diameter things.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast. Somebody was telling me that they're not telling me directly, but saying that their gauge for magic loop was different than their gauge.
Was it Amy and Darren?
It might have been. I can't remember.
I don't think they said that in the podcast. I think they said that when we chatted the other night.
Oh, maybe so. I don't know, but I mean, I know my in the round gauge differs from my flat gauge, but I don't know. It's just I've watched so many podcasts this week trying to catch up on a lot of them that they're all jumbled in my head. So my FOs they're kind of cheater FOs, but I'm working with Heather at Highland Handmade. She's got a newish space, and it's called Butternut DK. So it's a DK weight base. It's 85% Polworth, 15% silk, and it's like 320 yards in the skein. And first of all, the way that she does pricing is really cool because if you buy one skein, it's like 1 or 2 skeins, it's like $21. 3 and 4 skeins, it's $20, and 5 or more, it's $19. So it's kind of like webs in that it's progressive, which I think is a great idea. But she sent me. I've been trying to get this certain color of blue, and we were chatting, and she said that she was up to the challenge. So she sent me some color samples, little skeins, like 30 yards, to do swatches in to see what I thought. So I took the 4 swatches or the 4 colors that she sent me, and she labeled each one with color names, and I knit them in 4 different needle sizes. And the swatch that I used for this, I actually went and dug out when Laura and I, at the last fling that we went to, the last spring fling held by the Loop U when it was in St. Louis. Jared Flood was the teacher, and Laura and I both took the class, and it was probably one of the most rewarding classes I've ever taken as far as knitting teachers go. He does reteach the Elizabeth Zimmerman method, so it's not like it's new material, but he does it in a way that totally makes sense to your brain, or at least to my brain, and I think Laura got a lot out of it as well.
Yep. Oh, I took like 7 pages of notes.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
And the handout that he gave out, he has instructions for a very basic swatch, and it shows, and it's in the round. So you start with the edging and then you go in, and it's got 4 different decreases. It's got, so let's see, this is a slip knit. On the other side, it's a knit 2 together. Same thing here. They're just on different sides. This is a slip 2 together, knit 1, pass and over. And this is the opposite. This is a slip 1, knit 2 together, pass a slip stitch over. So it just gives you an idea of how your increases, or your decreases rather, are going to look in the different yarns.
That's interesting.
And it gives you a chance to kind of work with it. And he was telling us in the class how he takes his swatches around and he shoves them in his pocket and he takes them out on the subway and he just messes with them and, you know, gets an idea of how the yarn's going to behave under stress. So I got 4 colors from her. This one is slate, and I don't know that the colors are going to be true on your screen, but I'll try. And
are you trying to match the color of my one eye?
That would be creepy. No. I'm trying to match the color of this one top that I have that I like.
Okay.
This one is teal. This one is slate. And
slate's definitely more gray.
Yeah, and this one is teal and slate. So 4 different colors, 4 different swatches, 4 different decreases, 4 different needle sizes. So I did these progressively on a 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm just going to kind of carry them around and see what I think. I already know the 8 is too loose for my taste. I do like the color, but it's just...
is that the slate?
It's just too... This is the slate. No.
So what color are you leaning towards?
This is the nautical blue and raven. I totally lied. Color-wise, while this is a beautiful gray, I'm not looking for gray. So this isn't what I'm going to choose. These are the 3 contenders. So this one is teal. This one is slate, which is a gray, or more of a gray.
Blue.
This one is teal and slate. So this is these 2 colors combined. So what is your opinion?
Well, it's hard to tell because I'm 1,000 miles away.
You don't have to be. Just saying.
I kind of like the middle one. But, you know, I'm going to go more towards gray.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm actually, the color that I'm looking for is actually truer to this one here. But I'm not certain yet. So I'm just going to play with them.
To help you decide. You should just put them on the floor and let Neelix go for it.
Yeah, whichever one that he destroys is the one I'll choose. Right now, this one's in the lead. This is the teal, and it's knit on 6s. So it's a nice, dense fabric as well. So right now, that one's in the lead. But I actually really enjoyed the process of swatching. It was very cathartic to just sit and have this purpose of getting this done for the, you know, the sole reason of making sure that once I purchase this yarn, it's going to be exactly what I want.
That's pretty cool. That's a good opportunity to have.
Yeah. I appreciate Heather working with me on this. And I don't know. I like it. I think it's a cool idea to do, to sort of do tastings like that. And it's very, I don't know. I like having the swatches. So anyhow, that's my blathering on about swatching your public, or what is it?
Public service announcement.
There you go.
The more you know. Little rainbow.
I have that in my phone, and I use that as an answer to questions all the time in text messages. Just send that. Anyhow, spinning.
Alrighty. Spinning for me has been a very interesting week. I'm super far behind on the Expand Your Horizons. So I am trying to start and finish the January, which was southbound. So I have some baby doll southbound. It looks like that. It is a really interesting fiber to spin. I'm spinning it long draw over the folds. So it is very thick and thin. and I know that going in, and it is a pretty thick, I would say probably a DK weight single, but it has a lot of energy
It really
and
does, yes.
spring to it. And it's just really, really an interesting fiber. It's very squishy, very dense, very sponge-like. It's just really, really interesting. So I have no idea what I'm going to do with it when I'm done with it, but it's been lots of fun. And I'm spinning this on the Sidekick. I have very low tension on the Sidekick set on purpose for when I long draw. So I'm just enjoying the process. I spent all of this last night as I watched the Penguins win a hockey game. So that's what I'm spinning downstairs. Upstairs, my wheels are all empty. Well, not really. I have the fiber optic on the Lendrum, and it is spinning super fine.
Mhm.
And I don't want to risk breaking it right now, so I'm not going to bring it in to show y'all. But it's very interesting. And then I finished plying the Southern Cross Fibers Alpaca Falkland in that dark blue.
Yeah.
And I got 210 yards, so that goes perfectly with the other 4 skeins that I've spun of this. And I have 2 more left to spin. And then I'm going to have enough to do something crazy, something fun. And then the bats that I was spinning chunky last week from the wooden spinner, woolen spinner? Hold on,
Wooden spinner.
Wooden spinner by Brenda.
Yep.
And she sells on Etsy as well. I got around 67 yards of a bulky. And
Very
it's a very
pretty.
thick and thin bulky, but it's fun.
I like it.
And that was spun on the Hanson mini spinner. You can't see. It's right there. That's why I keep pointing over there. It's right there. So that was plied and spun on there. This was spun on the Sidekick, but plied on the mini spinner. I tend to get a lot more twist in my ply on the mini spinner, so it's interesting.
Because you
Well,
have the
this was
motor
only
going
like a half
faster than your
turn.
feet would.
Do what?
So on the mini spinner, do you have it pulling in faster than your feet would pedal on the Sidekick, or?
Do I have it going faster? I don't know. Maybe a little bit. The thing is with the mini spinner is when I spin, I'm very, like, when I ply, I typically count all
Mhm.
the time. And I can't do that on the mini spinner. And if I want to fold it back up on itself, I have to hit the button to stop
Mhm.
it. So I tend not to do that as much. So I'm not certain that I'm going to use the mini spinner a whole lot for plying. We'll see. It doesn't like, I mean, it's not, let me undo it. It's not like overspun at all. It's just finding that, see when it's like a whole turn, maybe half a turn, turn and a half. But it's not as consistent in the flying as I want it to be. And it should be consistent because it's more consistent rotation. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, my counting gets off. Plus I do it while I'm like talking to Leslie and I get easily distracted.
Or reading a book, or playing on the iPad, or.
Yeah, I do tend to read books when I fly. I didn't on this, but I have in the past. Leslie's watched me read on my iPad as I fly.
Like, I'll sometimes listen to an audio book, but I don't. I tend to keep my eyes free for, mainly because I don't spin as much as Laura. So honestly, I'm not as seasoned as Laura is. Even though we really started about the same time, she has spun pounds more than I have. So I'm just not at the point where I feel comfortable doing that yet. You know, it may happen.
I probably shouldn't. Like, that's why my stuff
Well,
ends up wonky,
I'm
but
not the boss of you. You can do whatever you want, but
that's very true.
I actually have some spinning content.
Yay! I'm excited.
I've showed you guys the first bobbin of Into the World that I was spinning and trying for a 3-ply fingering weight sock yarn. As soon as we finished recording, I spun another bobbin's worth, and then I spun another bobbin the next day, and
We're on top
plied
of it.
it the day after. I was really excited about this. So I was going for a 3-ply fingering weight. I did not get a 3-ply fingering weight. I got a 3-ply sport weight. I got 16 wraps per inch versus the 18 I needed for it to qualify as fingering. But it is really perfectly balanced, and it's beautiful, and I really enjoy it. This is only the second time I've tried for a 3-ply sock weight. This is the first time, and I still lived in Mississippi then. This was years ago. And I can see the difference. This has got more over twists and spots, and it's less even than this is. But, and I've tied this on both things instead of just one. I don't know why I did that. But I got 262 yards of this, and I don't remember what the color was.
Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis. Laura knows all the things. And,
I only know it because I spun it.
So yeah, I think it came out and it looked really nice. And this is BFL, Superwash BFL, and it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to spin. The prep on Chris and James fiber is just outstanding.
It's really nice.
And I can definitely get a pair of socks out of this if I use alternating color for the heels and toes. I just don't know.
It's more of a DK, so you can go up to a bigger size too.
Yeah, I just don't know if I should. Like, all the hand spun that I spin that I really like, I feel like I should save. Like just put it in the ether.
I think you should cast those on today.
No.
You totally should.
No, I have too many things happening right now already. And you're not the boss of me.
Really? I've always wanted to be the boss of someone.
But anyhow, I really do love it. I think it's wonderful, and it just reinforces all of the Into the World fiber that I already own.
You just spin some Into the World, because mine's getting a little bit out of control. I haven't spun the club for a couple weeks.
I want to spin this week, but I really need to finish the Southdown that I have on the Sidekick. I don't like not finishing the fiber once I've started it, and that Southdown's been sitting on the wheel for a month, maybe more.
How do you like the Southdown?
It's you kind of have to spin it long draw, and I'm not really great at that, so I struggle with it. I agree completely with you when you say that it's very energetic. It is absolutely. I mean, even after you've spun it into the single, it still wants to bounce around and party. But
it's a party fiber.
It is. I haven't plied it yet, so I really do want to see what it's like once it's plied, because I think that it could be a beautifully soft yarn to knit with. I'm sorry, my dog is just...
He loves you so much.
He does. Stop it. But yeah, I might work on that a little bit tonight after I get this video encoded or whatever. We do not have a book review this week.
Because we're lazy.
Yeah, we have books to review, but we just... Laura's had a family in town, and with my significant other being out of town, it's just been too busy, and we like to spend some time actually looking at the books before we talk about them on the show. So,
believe it or not, we do that.
So we'll just wait. We'll do one next week. It's no big deal. So we'll just hop into favorite things. I'll show you guys something I've been working on. So the tree carving quilt that I showed you guys before that I'm working on for Davina at work, who doesn't knit or anything, so I don't have to worry about her watching the show. Neelix, please go away. Where's Kobe? Go find Kobe. He's going to bring back a toy because he thinks that's what I'm asking for. But anyhow, so I needed to create a backing for it, for the quilt, and because the front is so plain with just the brown and the red for the heart, I wanted the back to be crazy. So I took a layer cake, which is a pre-cut, and it's typically 40 pieces of 10 by 10 fabric, and I cut it and did just some very simple half square triangle. Well, I guess these are quarter square. Anyway, I did some very simple blocks, and they're all different colors, and they're very crazy. And there's like teal and orange and yellow, and there's pink, and So it all goes together. It's all designed to sort of meld. And so there's some more. There's some really bright orange in here somewhere. I like that one a lot with the birds.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, somebody's calling me from Kansas. But I don't know who they are, so I'm not answering. Because I'm that person. If I don't know who you are, I don't know.
I do that all the time.
Crazy orange. But actually, it's so silly. But what I'm most proud of this is how perfectly I ironed out the seams. Because this is the first time I've ever put this much effort into it. But look how perfectly ironed out my seams are. Oh,
They look very nice.
It's like I'm a grown-up. Don't tell anybody. But anyhow, I love all this color. And this is a Kate Spain Moda cake. I got it from
I like Moda.
somewhere online. I don't remember. But anyway, so I've got like 40 of those, and I just have to get the friendship braid done and sew this on and then quilt it together. That's all I have to do. That's like the bulk of the work. But
that's it.
Anyhow, so that's one of the things that I've been working on, and I've been brought the rope. So why don't you talk about something?
Talking about something. My uncle's in town. I'm super excited about that.
And he's in town from where?
He's from Buffalo. Is that what you asked? Sorry, you cut out. Okay. He is in town from Buffalo. And he is one of my favorite relatives ever, so I'm super excited. And we're going to spend lots of time together. We watched hockey yesterday, and it's going to be good. So that's exciting. In mail, I got some cool stitch markers from Little Skein in the Big Woods. In a cute little bag.
Big wool.
I'm sorry, Little Skein in the Big Wool. I always want to say Woods because she does all the Little Red Riding Hood cool stuff. And they come in the container with the cork. And I think I got Snow Queen. They're very pretty. And I got larger size markers on purpose. These fit up to like a size 10 because I have lots of smaller markers.
Yeah.
But not so much on the larger. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 in here. And I think they were around $6 for the 8. In the little cute.
Yeah, like a little test tube beaker thing.
Yeah. Speaking of test tube beaker things, so you can buy buttons in these long plastic tubes when you're yarn shop. Like buttons come in those long plastic tubes. And someone in Paula's group posted them. She got bead tubes, but she's keeping all her double points, like all the same size in one tube. And I love how clever that is. So that's in Knitting Pipeline in her episode thread for Rhymes with Easily, which is how you pronounce Paula's last name.
Paula Emmons Feasley. Nailed it! Love you, Paula.
And she's got a new pattern coming out, and our friend Diane of the Knitables podcast is doing a knit along with that. So look for that on my needles soon.
Gills Rock, I think. And there's only a little teaser shot on the Quince & Company blog. You can't see it yet, but it'll be. I think it's this week that it comes out. Software, you're going to have a couple glitches, and there's nothing I can do about it. Trust me, I've tried. And there have been weeks where randomly audio will cut out for 30 minutes, and then we have to re-record, and there's nothing I can do about it. So, and I'm not saying that to say stop complaining. Like, I understand that people are asking because they're genuinely curious. There's nothing I can do about it, except have Laura move here. That's really the only solution.
I have scissors.
But in that vein, my best friend is coming for a visit.
I am. In this celebration of the birth of the month of Laura Catherine Linneman.
Yes,
Um,
Laura is coming to me for her birthday. Funny. Yeah. They I envy the amount of editing that they put into that, but because I know how long that crap takes. But they're super fun, and they're people I would definitely like to meet. And then I caught up on Joanna Spring of Knit Spoon Farm. I was 3 episodes behind on her. And if you haven't watched her, she's different in a really great way, in my opinion, because she's very real, and she doesn't put on a front at all. She's very like exposed, like what you see is what you get with Joanna. And in her episode 35, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, but basically she starts out by saying she had a crummy day, and she takes you, and it to send her a note and tell her that, and I just think she's a breath of fresh air. And
yeah,
Yarn of War Sadie.
thanks.
And let's see. Oh, and we need to do a drawing for Tri-Dye.
Next thing that we're gonna do for, which is super awesome.
Okay. Let's see. I got the random number generator. So in our Tri-Dye club, we're giving away a club membership to the Tri-Dye Club, which is wonderful, and it has Gail's art,
Yep.
Knitting in Color, and Eve of